Welcome back, folks. I'm me, Phil Terrell. You're watching part 2 of the Megaman X3 Let's Play. So, we just got done taking out 2 of Dr. Doppler's Mavericks, and he's not too happy with this, I gotta say. He's going to call in some help in the form of Bit and Bite, Bit being the smaller one, and Bite being the larger one, which is kind of appropriate in computer terminology terms. So, Dr. Doppler is over here going to say, hey, I want you to bring X to me alive, if possible. And of course they're all like, affirmative, Dr. Doppler. And then we get a mysterious Boba Fett looking Maverick, who's very surprised he's like, alive, Dr. Doppler. But Dr. Doppler doesn't like his mouth, and he's like, you better shut her off, fine, I'll put you right where I found you. And then he also makes a subtle threat that even with his enhancements, he's no match for the good doctor. So what kind of power is Dr. Doppler hiding if he's just a scientist? It's very interesting stuff. He's just fine. Just make sure he'll do it. I still can't believe that Maverick Hunter defeated my master twice in the past. I probably won't be able to do that accent ever again. But man, there's so much I want to say about this game. I honestly remember loving Megaman X3 when I was younger. But man, it's just something about this game hasn't really aged well for me. There's just, anyways, I should stop bitching. But this is Total Rhino, and Total Rhino is a, bring up my notes. Total Rhino formerly worked as a miner in the Energen crystal mine, being described as the best of his kind. He was personally invited by Dr. Doppler to visit Doppler Town, where he was corrupted by the Sigma virus. Now loyal to Doppler's orders, he occupies a rock quarry and uses his drills to dig tunnels through the earth and destroy all intruders. He was, and that's it. There's reasons from the Mega Man wiki, but Total Rhino, his level can be a bit tricky. I find it can be very tricky. And it's one of the, I wouldn't say it's one of the harder levels, but the mini boss in here is pretty tough. And Total Rhino is a pretty easier Maverick. He's not as easy as Blizzard Buffalo or Blizzard Buffalo if you want to use the spell version. That path I avoided to the right, I can't do anything with that without having both Catfish's weapon and the armed parts. But yeah, he's one of the easier Mavericks. I've beaten him in the past before, but I just rather just take on Blizzard Buffalo first. But the good thing about Total Rhino's level going in here first, you also get an energy tank right here. So very nice. You get easy to reach energy tank. You won't be able to get the armor piece in Blizzard Buffalo's level, which is, yeah, it's not the end of the world. But here we're going to fight the first of Dr. Doppler's henchmen, Bit. And Bit's a bit, pun, is a bit of a hard person. Welcome, X, I am Bit. I have my orders. You are to be destroyed. So Bit, his weakness is the Frost Shield. He does do some interesting attacks, but he's very much like agile from Megaman X2, where he'll have his beam saber and he'll rush towards you. He's not nearly as fast as agile, but he'll repeat this pattern quite a bit. Frost Shield is by far the easiest way to take him out. If you get hit by those Ring Man projectiles, it will immobilize you and you will not be able to move. So very important that you don't get hit by the projectiles. Those are a little bit tricky to avoid. Now, if you kill him with the Frost Shield, or if you take him out with what's his other weakness? Triad Thunder, he'll be destroyed. Because if you don't take him out with either of those weapons, he'll actually escape and not be destroyed. And I've always destroyed him, but I think if you don't take him out, I want to say he keeps on appearing. I want to say, but I don't know that for sure. I know for a fact you do. I know for a damn sure fact that you fight him again in the rematch in Dr. Doppler's lab if you don't take him out. But important that you make a decision if you're going to take him out or destroy him. I can destroy him or just make him retreat. Generally, I'm always going to, take him out because that's just how I do things. By this point, I already have Frost Shield. Definitely never taken out the Triathlon. I had to look that up. This area right here, you need to be able to drop that boulder with Bolt Catfish's weapon when it's fully charged, because go figure, electricity equals a boulder dropping. Now this boss right here is kind of tricky. Now these mini bosses, I don't think they have invincibility frames, because you could just shoot them and just wail on him with repeated small little pellet shots. Now his drill, if he hits the wall, he will fall off the walls. It will also detach his arm and grapple to the ceiling, and that will also cause you to fall down. But he didn't get a chance to use that, so just shoot him with a giant charge shot, and then just lay in on him with the pellet shots, and you'll be able to take him out. But that was a very easy go at that boss. I never have that easy of a time taking him out. He normally spams the hell out of his other arm or his arm and grip in the ceiling, and then when he does that, he'll shoot his other arm at you to try to hit you with it while the base is trying to ram you. So pretty annoying. Kind of good to have the boot upgrade to handle that boss. Somewhere around my words, jeez. And an interesting thing to note about I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous part, but the acid weapon you get from Toxic Seahorse, if you take out an enemy with it, I've noticed it always drops weapon energy. Now, I don't know if that's a quinkydink, but I do know that Frost Shield is the opposite. If you kill an enemy with Frost Shield, it will drop health energy. So that's kind of nice. And those enemies right there, they're super annoying. Those are one of those enemies that take a lot of damage to destroy, but they dish out a crap ton of damage. But Total Rhino's weapon is the acid, I forgot what it's called, acid something. It's the acid bubble. So just take him out, and then he will decide to do a Blizzard Buffalo technique and just charge at you. So let him charge, give him a second or two to drop his little shield, his invincibility frames, and you can hit him with that. Now, he is one of the few Mavericks that do have an attack that he might change once he gets hit with his weakness. He'll flash like that and charge. And then he can also stop in place in the middle of the arena, and then shoot drills from his shoulder. So that's kind of interesting. But with that, we've taken out Tonal Rhino. Not a super hard Maverick with his weakness, but he's also not super difficult with X's normal buster either. Oh, Acid Burst is the name of the weapon, not Acid Bubble. Ah, drop my controller. But with that, we will get the Tunnel Fang, I believe, or Drill Fang. I won't say it's Drill Fang. And we'll never know. I believe it is the Drill Fang, or is it the Tunnel Fang? Tornado Fang, my bad. We're gonna not take on Blast Hornet. I'm only going here to get one thing and one thing only, and then die. Actually, technically two things, and then I'm going to die on purpose. Because I like to use the right armor in Megaman X3. Even though we don't really get to use it very much, if you don't tackle Blast Hornet's level pretty early on, you're never going to be able to use the right armors. And you might think to yourself, well, Phil, why do I care about the right armors? X is pretty powerful as he is. Yes, X is kind of powerful if you can neglect the enemies that do a shit ton of damage to you, and they take a shit ton of damage to you. But anyways, I digress. There's some items in Megaman X3 that you cannot get without the right armors, that you just flat out cannot get without the right armors. So that's why I'm going to get the right armor now. And I'm not going to tackle Blast Hornet. I'm actually going to die on purpose. Yeah, and then restart, and then continue on. This is how I've always done it. If this bothers some people, it bothers you, I guess. But this is the way I've always played it. It doesn't bother me to get a game over just to get the right armors early. So this enemy, you can use the acid to take it out really quickly. And again, these mini bosses don't seem to have very many invincibility frames. Maybe this one might because it flashes and it doesn't look like it takes very much damage, but Acid Burst does a lot of damage. At least I think that one is one of the few mini bosses that have invincibility frames. But you need the Tunnel Fang in order to get the right armor. The right armor is right here. And we're also going to get the Heart Tank, because the Heart Tank's actually really close too. So as long as we have the boot upgrade, we can get it. So you destroy that little section, and then we use the Tunnel Fang here to destroy this wall. Destroy these boxes, it'll blast a hole in the bottom. We can go down here, and then we will get the Chimera armor, which I don't think this is the Kangaroo armor. I think that's just the normal armor. And it took me a long time to realize, and at least I think this is how the armor works. It's called the Chimera armor because all the different animals you get, the different animal name armors, it's just this, but it's the same exact armor, but it's just the color change, it just adds a little bit to it. The Kangaroo armor has like spiky punches that was in Megaman X2. This is like Megaman X1. The Hawk armor has a sort of flight capability with the missiles. And then you get the Frog armor, which is absolutely useless in my opinion. I only use it once, I almost die using it. This section here won't be here if you tackle Gravity Beetle's level first before coming to Blast Hornet's level. So when we come back to actually finish off Blast Hornet, this won't be here. We'll actually be able to just speed through here. But this is really it. They're just making us destroy these storage containers with the Maverick, dropping them off. Once the airplane leaves, we're free to keep on going. So keep going to the right, and then we'll be able to jump off here, and then jump X, and then you want to use your boots to go up, climb up here. There'll be a Heart Tank, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have X die a few times, and then we'll get a game over, and then we'll continue on from the Mavericks select screen. So, very, very weird way of doing this, I know, but this is the way I've always done it. I like doing it this way. Because again, I like just being able to use the right armors whenever I need to. So with that little bit of side questing done, I mean, it's really a side quest if you die in the process to do it. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and tackle Volt Catfish. Now, Volt Catfish's anime intro, if you watch very carefully, you'll see a little cameo appearance from somebody from Megaman X7 or Megaman 7 onward in the classic series. So there he is. So Volt Catfish has a long and bulky turquoise body that combines. Actually, let me not read that. Volt Catfish has an incredible power gen built to his body, which he once used to provide power to cities during times of crises. He was turned Maverick by the Maverick virus in Doppler town, wreaking havoc in the power center by siphoning power off to Doppler for Doppler's research center. So, pretty interesting Maverick. He also says that he was a formerly kind and playful soul with having a bit of a weak side. I can kind of see that with the way he looks. Now, there was a lift I just passed earlier. I don't recommend going down that lift unless you want to tackle that mysterious Maverick from earlier. So I don't recommend doing that. Now, I'm going to avoid that and I'm going to come back to this level and tackle. Not tackle him in this level, but we're going to tackle him in a later level. So just follow the path like normal. We'll be able to get the Heart Tank here. Unfortunately, I'm going to probably die in the process of getting it. Which I think I just goofed up. I had silly motor control and I just didn't hit the dash button in time. So just follow the path as normal. And we won't be able to get the armor part in this level either. We'll need Gravity Beetle's weapon as well as the arm parts to get. So right here, I don't know what happened there. I think what happened is I guess I dash jumped, I guess. I didn't really mean it. But we got the heart tank. That's the important thing. So our health bar is even longer. This would not be a level that I would recommend using Zero for because all the spikes. And once again, if Zero dies, you lose him forever, and then you lose the opportunity to get the better ending, in my opinion, as well as the chance to get a super special weapon. Very much in the vein of Megaman X1's Hadouken, and then Megaman X2's Shoryuken, I believe. I think that's what it's called. I'm not a Street Fighter person, but I think it's the Shoryuken from Megaman X2. So, man, that thing took off a lot of freaking damage off me. So, continue on, and then we're not going to go all the way up this time. We're going to stop here and then get off. Just take on the Mavericks right here. Avoid those. Just keep shooting. These robots right here. You could use... Yeah, so this is something I just found out that's pretty cool that it causes that, like, overload. But Frost Shield right here would be an amazing thing to do to just get some health. I think it'd be an amazing thing to do, but I didn't know. I forgot about Frost Shield right here. So don't go up. That's where the armor leads. That's where the armor is, but you can't get it without Gravity Beetle's weapon. So we're going to continue on. Now, but we will be able to get the sub-tank in this level because we have the armor. And this is one of those sections which, if you get the armor ahead of time, the right armor ahead of time, you don't have to backtrack to get the sub-tank. But then again, I guess you have to backtrack anyways to get the armor piece. But I'd rather just get the not the heart tank, the energy tank right now. Sub-tank, energy tank, whatever you want. It's a tank. So you can pick whatever armor you want. I'm just going to pick the normal armor, the normal Chimera armor. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go to the right and dash and then jump down here. We don't have to dash in there. Once you hit this ground, the floor will give because of the weight of the armor, and then you can get all your goodies right here. So really nice. So pretty cool. And then you can't take the armor up, so you just have to dash, jump, and wall jump up here. So just be very careful. Try to not take as much damage as possible, unlike your favorite Let's Players do. Anyways, so just continue here, just destroy these bots. Their cannons will destroy first, I'm sure you noticed. I hate that laser trap. Be very careful here. There's those enemies, and there's going to be some electric traps. So right there, be very careful. You can kind of refill your energy right here. So very nice, very, very, very nice of the game designers. We're almost done. So go up here, just avoid the sparks. Let's move on. Destroy that bot. And I think the main hazard, the main dangerous part of Volt Catfish's level is at the very beginning with all the spikes. This section, you can kind of be, you can avoid a lot of the damage just by being observant and slowing the hell down. Now, the Volt Catfish's weakness is the Tornado Fang, and it's very interesting because you can hit him with Tornado Fang twice. So, when I mean by twice, I'm talking about with the same bullet. So right there, shoot it, and then when he jumps after you, if you time it right, the Tornado Fang will hurt him when you first shoot it, and when he jumps towards you, he will take more damage from the same Tornado Fang. So kind of interesting. And you don't have to shoot 3, you can just shoot 1. I just like to shoot 3, just to shoot 3. Because I like to waste ammo. Once you get into half health, he'll go towards the middle of the screen, and then he'll start using his normal attack. Here, you can't hit him with the same Tornado Fang twice. Actually, no, I think you can. If you time it right, you can, I think. But right here, just hit him, and then when he jumps and he lands, just use it again. And you basically stun lock him. You automatically win once you get to this phase with the Tornado Fang, if you just do it right and time it right. Now, Volt Catfish's weapon, I do like. It's one of the few shield weapons I actually do like, mainly because it's not as good as Storm Tornado for damn sure, but it's a pretty good weapon in my opinion. Because you get a shield, and it kind of sort of turns into a projectile because of where the joints of the triangle, you'll see it. Right here, you got Triad Thunder. So as you can see there, the joints of the triangle kind of shoot thunder out, so you kind of get a sort of projectile with it, as well as a barrier, so that's nice. Now the next Maverick we're going to be taking on is Crushed Crawfish. And Crushed Crawfish is, in my opinion, he's probably one of the more dangerous Mavericks. He also has a pretty cool anime intro from the PlayStation version of Megaman X3. Excuse me. And Crushed Crawfish was designed as a military combat Reploid. Due to a flaw in his AI, he was unable to tell enemy from ally and became uncontrollably violent. He was put into a storage for maintenance and was forgotten at the back of a warehouse. Imagine him being in a box that was labeled Crushed Crawfish. However, Doppler awakened him and he took over a naval yard and watches over his territory from within a submarine in the harbor. And so that's where we're going to go and find him. So we got to go infiltrate this harbor in Doppler Town. Now, if you were proactive and you got the Chimera armor and you use the Chimera armor, well, the Chimera armor in Blast Hornet stage, we can actually get the Heart Tank in this level pretty easily. And here I'm just showing off Triad Thunder. Triad Thunder is very good for taking out a lot of the smaller enemies. And then if you don't want to ram X into the enemy with the shield, it can also shoot off lines of electricity from the edges of the triangle. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch to the Chimera armor, not just because, you know, I like using the right armors wherever I can, but because this section right here, this Reploid, or Mechanoid, I guess really, is going to fall to the floor, break through all this, get to the right, and just be very careful about how you get to this section right here. The second tier, just punch through the wall on the right, and you'll be greeted with a Heart Tank. And so right here, don't feel too bad if you lose the right armor right here. Really, we're just using the right armor to just get through that section, and then just to get the Heart Tank. Now, this is an arena that you can fight Bit and Bite in, but unfortunately, we're not going to fight Bite in this level, so we don't have to worry about him. And actually, yeah, we do have his weakness. One of the weaknesses for Bite is Tornado Fang. We do have that. Those little guns right there, they're kind of annoying because if you get really close or you start shooting at them, they'll duck and shoot you at your ankles. There is a hidden area right here. I mean, kind of hidden, I guess, in a way. But I wouldn't recommend going that way until you get the Ray Splasher. I think the Ray Splasher is a better weapon to take out that hidden boss in there. So here, we're getting really close to the submarine that Crushed Crawfish hides in, so we're going to go ahead and go in there. Take on this Mechanoid right here. Just shoot it. Don't get hit by the giant Morning Star arms, or otherwise it's going to hurt really badly. And that's kind of bad. Be very, very careful here. I'm not sure if I died right here. Because there's spikes at the bottom. We don't want to get hit by the spikes. But equip the Tornado Fang, and we can get some nifty extra lives right here. So make sure you have those Tornado Fangs ready. So let's go ahead and equip it. We're going to shoot it. It should break through this wall right here. We'll be able to get 2 extra lives really easily. So, really, really nice. Okay. I don't know what I was doing there, but let's go ahead and switch to the X-Buster. And then we're going to be very careful on how we descend here, hopefully. It'd be kind of embarrassing if I died, but I think I did die here. Something tells me I did. So, just be very careful. Go to the right, and there'll be some actually some health right here. So you can fill up your energy tanks right here. And these were the spikes I was talking about right here. So just be very, very careful. Take out some of these smaller enemies. You can use the Buster or you can Triad Thunder. The enemy right there, just destroy it with the Buster. You'll be fine. This right here is not really a mini boss. Just take out the reactor. All you gotta do is shoot the middle, and then you'll be good. Now the sub will go belly up, and then the level will turn vertical, and we're almost to Crushed Crawfish. So really, really close. So just continue going up. There'll be some annoying enemies right here. These enemies right here that shoot the charged bubbles and balls that'll bounce off the walls, making it really hard to dodge. And of course, again, that enemy right there. Again, it's kind of annoying that they'll dodge your attacks and shoot you at your ankles. Now, Crushed Crawfish's weakness is the Triad Thunder. And Crushed Crawfish can really hurt you if you don't have his weakness. He'll be able to grab you in his little clippers, chompers, not really chompers, his pinchers, and you'll have to button mash to get out of his grasp. He can shoot his little pincers into the air. He'll be able to shoot those things that you see on the wall, which don't hurt you, but they will paralyze Megaman X to where he'll drop straight down, like he got attached by a giant weight. But Try Thunder makes short work of him. If you stay in the air and you stay away from the wall, he shoots those weird, I guess they're like boomerangs. I guess it says boomerangs. He should be really easy. Try Thunder just tore him apart really easily. So, that's the end of our good friend Crushed Crawfish, who was found in a box in the back that Crushed Crawfish by Dr. Doppler. And we'll get his attack, the Spinning Blade, one of the more useless weapons. It's really only good for taking out some of the bosses that are weak against it. I mean, because look at it, it only goes forward a little bit and it goes all the way back. So it's not really a proactive weapon in my opinion, or what's the word I want to say? Practical weapon. That's the word I want to say. So next we're going to go to my favorite of the Mavericks and Megaman X3 design-wise, Neon Tiger. Now Neon Tiger also has a very cool animated intro from the PlayStation version. Let's see here. Neon Tiger is a fearsome warrior and a cunning hunter, though with a soft spot for wildlife, utilizing solar energy as a power source. Neon Tiger's power is said to be unlimited as long as there's sunlight. However, he also possesses highly advanced visual sensors, granting him quick reflexes that make him a dangerous opponent even in darkness. It also says that he was a poacher hunter stationed in the nature reserve in Doppler town, ensuring no one stole or harmed the endangered animals he was made to protect. And this often brought him to conflict with humans even before becoming a Maverick. He became a Maverick after being infected with the Sigma virus, taking up residence in the reserve. Now, I don't remember what the name of the song is, but I want to say this sounds really close to a Guns N' Roses song. I'm not sure. I don't really listen to Guns N' Roses very much, but kind of interesting that that's the case. It's also kind of funny that Megaman X5 kind of has that same, is it Guns N' Roses? I don't know. The Mavericks and Megaman X5 had a pretty weird naming scheme in the original version of X5. Anyways, I'm digressing pretty bad. So go ahead and climb up here and be very careful. And then these dragonflies, you can jump on their backs and they'll be okay. I don't remember if I just got the energy tank just now earlier in that section. I want to say I did, but there is an energy tank in this level, I believe. And there's also arm parts in the heart tank that we're going to get here. So we'll be able to get all of the items in Neon Tiger's level, which thankfully that's awesome. Now, and I don't think I'm alone in this opinion, but I feel that the arm parts, and you have to use a tornado fang here to break this fake wall or this broken wall, but 100% these are my least favorite arm parts in Mega Man X games. So, and it's a cool concept, it really is, but I just don't like it. Take this X-Buster downgrade. The downgrade will increase the strength of your individual shots. You'll be able to shoot 2 charged shots at once. X sounds cool, but it's not really. If timed correctly, you can overlap the shots to create a single cross-charge shot. It looks cool, but it's not really useful. But the upgrade will allow you to charge your special weapons. Now, the weapon is cool on paper, in my opinion. Because in theory, it should be an upgrade to the Buster in Mega Man X2, where you could shoot 2 charge shots. But when you do that, I feel that the weapon becomes so wide that, you know, it's good for small enemies. It's not good for bigger enemies that have very defined hit boxes that you have to hit them in. And if the shots just go a little bit over the weak point, or like for example, those red robots who have the Morning Stars, they don't get hurt very well by this Buster. It's kind of hard to describe. You just have to do it yourself and use the Buster, but it's not a very fun Buster to use outside charging weapons. And this enemy right here, I've always used Tri Thunder to take it out, and it seems that it takes it out really quickly. I'm not entirely sure if that is its weakness, but that tends to be what I use. But yeah, if someone could correct me on or not correct me, but tell me why they don't like the Megaman X3 Buster. I just know I just don't like it. It feels very awkward to shoot. Okay, anyways, let's continue on here. And I feel like Neon Tiger's level is one of the more longer levels. But you get a right armor section here, which you don't need the right armor to get any of the power-ups. It's just nice to have it. That way you don't run the risk of taking damage from enemies, and then the right armor takes the damage instead. And if you don't have the right armor, just be very careful with the green spikes on the bottom, because they will kill you instantly. And now we're going to get into the second of the Nightmare Police robots, Bite, who's also very polite. Nice to meet you, X. I'm Bite. I've been programmed to exterminate you. How about you? And his weakness is the Tornado Fang. Now, he is a very easy boss when you have Tornado Fang and when you have the dash boots. If you get hit, he will smack you around. Now, that little mine he shoots out, it will push you away from the wall, which is why you see me doing these weird acrobatics on the wall. But Tornado Fang makes very short work of him. If you're very lucky, you'll be able to get 2 hits off of it, potentially more depending if he charges at you. But that's it. No! How could this great power be generated from within such an ancient machine? Well done, X. The victory is yours. And so with that, we beat Bite, which means we destroy both Bit and Bite, and we will get a different boss in Doppler Castle 1. So, but I'll go ahead and show all the boss fights that you can encounter in Doppler's castle or hideout. It's not even a castle, it's a hideout, really. So with that, we'll be able to go to the next section, which is the last section in Neon Tiger's level. Be very careful with those spikes. I almost died right there. Those robots that look like centipedes, or they kind of remind me of Reaverbot from Megaman Legends. They will turn the ground to spikes, and you don't want that. This Dragonfly, jump on it, and then ride it as far as it'll go, and then dash jump over to this wall. You'll get your heart tank, and then we will have all the pickups in Neon Tiger's level. Now, Neon Tiger's weakness is the spinning blade, and because the way he jumps on the walls and the way he attacks, spinning blade is really good here, but it sucks. So if you hit him with spinning blade, he'll jump on the wall, and then he will start shooting at you with his tail, which is using the ray splasher weapon, or he'll drop down to try to swipe at you. Now, if you just run and shoot the spinning blade as you're running, it will curve back around and hit him, and you can just repeat this pattern, and he's really easy to beat. Otherwise, I think he's a pretty difficult boss without his weapon. He uses the ray splash, which I said he uses on the ground, he uses on the wall. He uses a dive attack to hit you with his claw. You can also do a rush attack, which I'm watching right now. It looks like he charges up into an invincible state and rushes towards you. And he'll only use this attack when he uses less than half. He uses it when he's less than half his health. But with that, we defeat Neon Tiger, and we'll get the Ray Splasher weapon, which it reminds me of sort of like a shotgun effect in the way that it spreads out really, really wide. If you're very far away from an enemy, they're very likely to not get hit, in my opinion. It's really only good if you're right up in their face. So as you see there, it kind of spreads out, but it only shoots beads in several directions. But with that, we're done with Neon Tiger, and I will catch you in the next part, folks, in part 3 in the Megaman X3 Let's Play.